You're watching The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are The Breakfast Club. We got some special guests in the building.
Yes, sir.
Fat Joe and Dre from Cool and Dre.
That's right.
Joey cracking head with the We Thuggin' fur on. He about to jump in the pool.
We call this modern nostalgia,
That's
baby.
right.
Modern nostalgia, man. We bring it back, baby. We bring it back.
Does Peter bother you when you wear the big furs and
I
stuff
don't
like
care.
that?
I'm waiting for them to throw some shit on.
No.
I be lit. That's TMZ all day, right?
Absolutely.
You be talking about me for a month, damn, they splash Fat Joe, man. Shit crazy.
Because that is assault, so you can defend yourself.
No.
Yes, you can. That's assault.
He's not going to
No,
knock
no,
somebody
ain't
out.
gonna fight. I'm not going to fight Peter.
Yeah, come on. That's crazy.
Nah, it would be like a real collector's item, man. We would have to put that shit up somewhere, like at a Hall of Fame or something.
Word.
You know,
Yeah.
just throw the jacket up.
I had the opportunity to watch you and She's Gotta Have It on the Netflix special. See you get your
Great
acting
job.
on.
Man, you know I took it so serious. Shout out to Spike Lee for saving my life. And for saving my life, because rappers get shot and they end up broke. So I'm trying to become an actor or something. And go to, I just finished the Kevin Hart movie.
Nice,
Kevin
cool.
Hart and Tiffany Haddish, man. So Spike Lee saved my life. You know what I'm saying? So I locked myself up in a little hotel in Manhattan, nothing fancy. I just kept practicing my parts. I turned my phone off. I ain't have nobody with me. I took it very, very serious, man. And She's Gotta Have It. We got a second season. Rumor has it when he win from Bed-Stuy coming back next year. He coming back.
Did you take acting classes, or that was just something that's always been in you?
Nah, it's always, that's slightly a pause. I don't know if we use pause no more. I don't know if that's a cool thing to say, but damn.
Diddy don't use pause, so why should you?
Oh, damn, man. That's another conversation.
You saw the Drink Champs episode.
Jeez. Man.
Diddy said he just can't play the game right, so he doesn't play.
He said
He
he's not
don't
good
even
at
play,
it.
right?
He's not good at it.
Playboy, can we do can we do your birthday, Playboy? Man.
He ain't say Playboy either. He said Daddy.
He said daddy.
Daddy, can we do your birthday, Daddy?
He just said he ain't good at.
He said
He's
he
not
ain't
good at
that
the play.
game.
Yeah,
He said
yeah.
he ain't playing that game.
And She's Gotta Have It. In your role, you pay for this woman to get her butt done, right? It was huge, and then she fell on stage and her butt exploded. Now, how do you feel about, in real life, all of these butt injections, butt implants?
Me personally, I ain't got a problem with it. You know what I'm saying? If person want to do whatever they want to do with their own body, you know what I'm saying, then that's dumb. You know what I'm saying? It's helped quite a few young ladies out, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, they slim, beautiful, and they wanted that booty. They got that booty, or they whatever they want, man. That's ain't got nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no. It's cool.
Do you, right?
In your new video, we see a lot of it, though. We see a lot of...
Yeah, Envy.
Here we
I
go.
spoke to
Nice
Envy. He
segue.
said, man, his wife loved me, man. I'm a family man, wife, kids. She turned on that video. That boy was like, yo, I don't know what Joe doing in this video. Yo,
I said, Joe bugging.
Joe bugging, man. We need to turn this off, baby.
It's a strip
How
club
could he
record,
do
though.
this? Yeah.
Pick
I
it
mean,
up.
I'm entertaining.
It's a strip club record past strip club record.
Nah, we entertaining, man.
Is your wife there on set while you guys film the video?
Man, this was so scary, man. This is the first video I was scared to show her. I showed it to her like a week ago. We ain't talked since.
Are you serious?
Very serious.
Why?
Let's go on.
You didn't tell her what it was beforehand?
Man, she knew what it was, but it is what it is, man. Listen, let me tell you something. I'm a great man. I'm an outstanding citizen, if you ask me. I provide for a lot of people. And Fat Joe the Gangster, he's not gonna never compromise how he makes his music. Mm-hmm. Whether I'm older now, whether I'm young, whatever the case may be, I'm gonna keep making gangster music till I die. That's just my point. So we said, Dre said, yo, we gonna make a strip club anthem, and we made a strip club anthem. We went out there to Vegas, we got with Floyd Mayweather's crew, and we shot. It was an amazing video, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying?
Why Ambitious as a writer, Dre?
Yes.
Because that's not why Ambitious is a writer. Because that's not technically a strip club record.
I mean, I was at the crib watching that Tupac movie, and that's like a great movie to watch at the house. Like, you know what I'm saying? You chilling, and the
At the house. He said at the house. It wasn't good in theaters,
No,
but at the house. It's good.
it's
It ain't a
great-
theater, cat.
Yeah, you're chilling at the crib, you're doing what you do, and the scene came on when Daz was playing the beat, but it was fast, and he was like, "Yo, slow that down." And when he slowed it down, just watching, I was like, man, it's crazy. And out of nowhere, like in my head, I was just, pop up, pick it up. I ran to the studio immediately and cut it, called Joe the next day. I was like, yo, we got one. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, So Excited was doing his thing, and we was getting such great feedback from it. Joe was like, we got to do it again.
First of all, I had to force him to be on So Excited. So, you know, if people don't know, for America watching on Revolt, Dre's behind the scenes of many of my hits and many of Khaled's hits, many of everybody's hits. So Dre been penning up them hooks forever. So I'm So Excited, you know, I had to force him, you know, because Dre, he cool, he comfortable, he in Miami, he chilling. I'm like, yo, Dre, B, I'm going to leave you on the song. He's like, nah, Joe, just put somebody else on there. And I was like, nah, we going to do it. And then, you know, so we had a version with Dre, and I don't want to say who else. We had another big boy.
2 different versions.
2 different versions, and we mixing and we think about what we gonna put out. And I'm riding through Jersey while we mixing and they sending the mixes. And I'm gonna say something that sounds crazy, but you know it never ever happens. And I don't never use this card, but I heard Big Pun tell me, "Yo, stick with the team." So I said, "Oh, that's it." I was like, "Yo, Pun told me to stick with the team." I put Dre on there, went top 5.
Do you get those? Do you get those? I guess revelations from Pun.
I never get them.
Really?
I never get them. You know what I'm saying? So when I do get them, I listen.
How'd you know it was Pun though? Like what?
I knew it was Pun, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we had this same problem before when I did Don Cartagena. Pun was on the hook, not Puff Daddy. And that was when Puff Daddy, anything he say, take that, was going platinum.
Right.
So I went and got Puff on the hook. And I remember I had not an argument, but Pun was like, yo, stick with the team, B. Stick with the team. We don't need Puff Daddy right now. And I was like, nah, it's Puff Daddy. I got to win, right? So nowadays, it was the same similar situation, and it came right back. The voice came back to me where it was like, yo, stick with the team, B. Stick with the team. And look, we did a whole album. Our album is better than everybody's album. I just want you to know that. Real talk is we are going to dominate this year. Like, I bet my life on it how we going to dominate this year. If y'all want to be the first to listen to the album, y'all can be the first. We're going to kill people this year. Like, this is a tough time for anybody who don't like Fat Joe or Dre.
That's right.
It's going to be very tough for you this year.
Did the artists you take off sound good on the record?
Sounded great, man, but you know Dre sounded better.
Got
You know
you.
what I'm saying? And I got respect for all artists, you know what I'm saying? But I was just like, yo, and then I convinced him, and now he loves it.
Yeah, we was going back and forth, and you know I kept telling Joe, "Nah, I'm good, you know what I'm saying?" And then he called me, he's like, "Yo, Pun told me keep it." I said, "Joe, stop."
You're going too far. You're going hard right now.
Going hard, and he was like, "Nah, real talk." And I was like, "You know what? I can't say no."
You can't say no to that.
How you
Right.
say
That's like
no
somebody
to that?
handing you a Jesus pamphlet in the
Yeah.
streets. You're not gonna throw it in the trash. You're gonna put it in your pocket. You might not even read it.
Exactly. So I just, you know, embrace the blessing, and since that, you know, we've been inspired. You know what I'm saying? And the people, the love we've been getting back from the people has been so amazing.
Now, we talked about Make It Rain and how much money you spent in the strip club for Make It Rain. And how much money that you was like, I spent too much. It's going to be the same situation with this. You cannot go to a strip club and not spend money.
You have
Gonna
to.
duck the strip club.
Nah,
You don't have to be in there. Your music's there.
I'm gonna duck him
nah. We gotta break the strike. I heard there's a strike going on too.
with
Like
the bartenders and the strippers.
Is that
Man.
still going on? I thought that was only in certain places.
I don't know.
Man, I know
we
it's
gotta
hard
break
for a
it.
stripper right now. Cause you know, I'm doing a little podcast with Tidal called Coca Vision, and I was looking for the number 1 stripper in New York, and all my mans own all the clubs. Nobody knew a hot stripper. There wasn't one name of a girl popping in New York City. They told me all the bartenders.
Right.
So we had to have a session with the bartenders in the podcast, but we couldn't, we couldn't find a hot stripper.
Yeah.
They said
So
that's a New
it's
York
called a
thing, though.
strip club. It's called a.
Yeah.
Because is it like that in Miami?
They changing
is
it
it like
now,
that in
Gentlemen's
Atlanta?
Club.
Nah,
He threw the remix.
Gentlemen's Club.
Gentlemen's Club.
because you
Miami's
can show
different.
because they butt naked for real, like 100%. They
It's the
got
South.
nothing exactly. So
Yeah.
in Miami, the strippers is getting it, but in New York, it's the bartender. Shout out to all the beautiful bartenders. We need them.
You know, Dre, you cool and Dre, y'all don't speak much throughout the years. Does that help or hurt?
I mean, you know, it's a good thing and a bad thing. You don't really wear your face out, meaning like, you know, some people think I'm brand new, and I love it. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, you're right. Like, you know, we don't really, I don't want to say claim our legacy, but we're not out here promoting it loud. You know what I'm saying? So you know, just what me and Joe been doing lately. People been digging it up, like, oh man, they did Hate It or Love It, they did New York, New York, they did Rodeo, like. So I think it's gonna be different now because we putting music out, and me doing something like a Breakfast Club, I could, you know, shine a spotlight on, you know, all
Shout
of our
out to my
legacy.
brother Cool too, because he's the one who
Good.
really don't talk. You know?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Well, give these kids your resume a little bit, man. Let them know what some of your
you know,
biggest records.
I mean, New York, New York was our first hit. You know what I'm saying? It was
Ja
big
Rule.
for us. Ja Rule, Fat Joe.
50 Never Hate You for that?
Nah, because Hate It or Love It came out 4 months later, which was, you know, was strange times. That's why it's family ties. Like, we keep it 100.
Right.
You know, me and Cool wasn't like making beats in Miami, just emailing it off. We was in the streets wearing Terror Squad chains. So, like, both those records that came out at the same time was like, it was crazy. And you remember the time, 2003, 2004.
How did that happen?
It was
Like,
really fist fights. It was really people getting
But
shot.
you did not.
They was nervous
You
in
didn't want to take that
Manhattan.
record
You
back
couldn't
though,
even-
because you know at the time Fat Joe was in the midst of the beef.
It was already done. Like, we heard Hate It or Love It for the first time on the radio. Like, you know, we knew we gave him the beat, but
It's a hell of a record, man.
Crazy
nah,
record.
it's, you know, number one,
Hell
our
of a
first
record,
number one.
huh?
You know what I mean? So that kind of like put me.
Fat
in
Joe
cool.
back then was a different mentality
Oh,
of
yeah.
a Fat Joe now. You know?
Nah,
Did you
it
have
was
to
real.
call him? Did you have to call him, Dre? Like, yo, Joe, listen, beforehand?
I just put it to you this way: we keeping it real. Listen,
I know
it-
Joe called you.
Oh man,
Let's hear
That
it, Dre.
should've
Let's hear
been
it.
my
Let's
record.
hear it. Let's hear it.
Well,
When,
not
when
my
Joe
record.
when Joe calls you is a good thing. When Joe doesn't call you is when you're stressed out. And let's just say both those records coming out at the same time definitely put a strain just on everything. And it is what it is. But you know,
He didn't call you.
nah, we ain't talked for a
Did you
good
call him?
9 months. You know what I'm saying? But nah, of course we got back together. I mean, that's what a real relationship or a family is. To be able to go through anything and come on the other side. But you know,
You had to reach
What's
out
your
to. You had to
recollection,
reach
Joe?
out
What's
to
your
him.
recollection of how it happened?
Huh?
You had to reach out to
mean,
him and say,
yes,
"Hey, let's squash
yes.
it."
Time was
Yes.
bad for all of us, man, because you know, I'm from the streets, man, and I warred with some of the biggest warlords and drug icons you ever heard of in your life. So I was in a very tough predicament because I had beef with this guy who was dissing me in this music and interviews, and I couldn't really get him. You know what I mean? So I was like, wow, I can't. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just brought up with so much violence. That's the only answer to everything. So, and then when it got sticky with my brothers, because you know they was trying to throw all kind of bread at my team and Khaled too, everybody. You know what I mean? And it put a strain on me and Khaled too, because you know they was trying to give them tons of money to produce stuff for them, and then. You know, it was just a bad time for me, and I was so stubborn and so warlordish that, you know what I mean. It got me mad with everybody. I ain't talked to K Slay in 5 years or something like that. Like I was just like, you know, it was a serious time, man. We was playing for keeps.
But that was the time when people did have to like really choose a side. Like y'all was really going at each other.
Yeah, it was like, yo, you know what I mean? I wasn't so open-minded, you know what I mean? Like I discovered E. Rivera, the video director, and the first phone call he got was Dr. Dre and 50 Cent. He shot the video from me. It was like, yo, we want what Fat Joe got right now. And I was like, yo, Eve, go get that money. The beef wasn't even squashed yet. But it was like, you know, the beef was old already. It wasn't so much of a hot topic.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it was more like, yo, go get that bread, B. Go get it. You know, I learned from mistakes of how I handled things when I was a hothead, you know?
I always wonder about that though, because you said, you know, you put a strain on you and Khaled relationship, but then later on 50 even got at Khaled when he was recording his mom and everything. So did Khaled ever come to you like, yo, you right. You was right, Joe.
This was you know, we're warlords, man. We lie to ourselves every day and tell us we got beef. The reason why Fat Joe been in the game 20 years, the reason why DJ Khaled works like a slave every day is I put a mindset in the DNA of Terror Squad, of Remy, of like, we got beef with the planet Earth. Anybody stepping our way, we rolling over them. That's it. That's the mind state of Terror Squad. It's like, we just war ready. We warlords. So, you know, so Khaled come back to me with the, yo, here's the Fat Joe playbook, bro. This is what it is. You told me we knocking cats out. Anybody, you know, it was crazy, man. It was crazy. You know, I mean, that's like, I don't think they'll ever, no matter how much love, team love, or fan love Khaled got, I don't think they can actually repair that You know what I mean? I mean, 50, I'm cool with 50 Cent. You know what I'm saying? Extremely cool with 50 Cent. And the past is the past. Totally the past. But, he played with his moms, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know how I could squash that. I try to squash every beef with 50 Cent.
What about Ja Rule
First
right
order
now?
of business was me trying to squash Ja Rule at 50. He was like, that's not going to happen.
That's never happening.
Pick another beef, Joe.
Just over the
He was feeling
weekend,
peaceful,
it got
too. He was
reignited.
feeling peaceful, too. He was like, nah.
But it got too extreme. I mean, as Josh said, they shot him, they stabbed him, they fought. Like, it's too extreme. You can't,
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
We hold grudges too. Like, you know what I mean? The good thing with us is it wasn't no real physical beef.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was verbal, and we got over that.
Dre, what made y'all embrace Fat Joe so much in Miami back in the day? Brother from New York coming down, staking claim.
I mean, with me and Cool, he gave us an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Me and Cool was popping locally. You know what I'm saying? We was selling beats to all the independent record companies, you know what I'm saying, in Miami. And you from the South, you already know what that means. So, Joe heard a beat CD, and he drove down to Miami to see us. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'll never forget. And, we was in the studio, and we played on the record, and he was going crazy. He was playing this We Thuggin', and we ain't never heard Joe on that like that. We know him from, all the hardcore.
My
hip-hop
Lifestyle.
shit. Yeah, so, once he played us, I was like, man, it's crazy. And in the middle of the session, Khaled walked in, and he's like, yo, you with Cool and Dre? These my people. This is family. Whoop-de. And then after that, Joe was just like, oh, you cool with Khaled? It's a done deal. So every time he came to Miami, he would always invite us out. So the people in Miami would see that, damn, look at Cool and Dre, they hanging out with Terror Squad. That's love. Like, they're giving dudes from the city an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So I think, one thing Joe's always done is wherever he goes, he always, sticks his flag in the ground and shows massive love. So if it's finger licking, he popping up. You know what I'm saying? I'm here. I'm supporting the local businesses and whoever's doing their thing. So we love
Me, I
Joe
fell in
Miami.
love with them. You know what I'm saying? So I fell in love with Cool and Dre. I fell in love with Khaled. That's one of the main reasons I moved to Miami. We had so much unity over here in New York. Things was like going bad. Everybody beefing with each other. I always say this, but I mean, everything was Fat Joe beef. Everybody had beef. But one day, I was in my crib in Jersey, and I heard the radio. And I heard Cameron disrespecting Nas in a way that I was like, I am done. Like, I am done with this New York scene. I got to get out of here. I can't believe what's going on out here. You know what I'm saying? And they embraced me, and we went down there, and we started all that with the Rick Ross, with the Lil Wayne, with the Pitbull, with Cool and Dre, Khaled. Like, we was like, I never seen nothing like that. Like, we was in different studios, like running in Wayne's session, and Wayne was like, Crack, I think you do it like that. It's dope. And I go back up in there and mess with Lil Wayne, and then Ross was in there. Like, it was just crazy, man. It was a real unified movement, you know what I'm saying, going on out there.
That's interesting that the disgust you had for New York at the time made you go down south. Like, I never heard anybody. I thought people going down there for the weather. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no, you do, and it's a beautiful place, but I'm just talking about, I love New York City. This is my city. What I'm saying was the temperature and hip-hop artists, everybody dissing each other, everybody was going at each other, it was like it was not unity. When I came, you got to understand, man, I've been doing this since Flojo digging in the crates. If you go back to that time, Fat Joe was in everybody's video, Tribe Called Quest, Black Sheep, this one, when it goes, engine, I'm one of them dudes jumping up and down. I'm in Daz Effects video. I'm in there like, we all was loud.
Absolutely.
Everybody was like, yo, everybody. And then to get it to a black cloud where it was like, everybody's warm with everybody, I was like, yo, this is whack, man. Like, to me, Nas is a rap god. I think the same with Cameron, too. It was just terrible, man. It was just... believe it or not, underneath all these layers of violence and bad guy is a guy with a big heart who actually loves my people and loves, all fellow artists and my New York. It was killing me, B. I'm watching Mount Rushmore crumble. I'm like, yo, this is crazy.
So it's fine that rap is a competitive sport, but it just can't get disrespectful as far as disrespecting the legends.
No, man. That boy was talking about he's smacking koofies off, this and that.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that in my life. I was like, yo, this can't be it. This
Now,
can't be happening.
In this new song, you say "fuck Trump."
That's right.
That's right.
We see your skit. What made you want to do that skit?
Well, there's so many things that made me want to do that skit.
With
man.
Tiffany Haddish.
What happened was, I'm Puerto Rican, you know what I'm saying? I'm from the Bronx. I'm born in the Bronx, but my roots is Puerto Rican. And it just hurt me to see how they treated Puerto Rico like a third world country, and how Trump people was out there. They ain't have. They still people don't have
Yeah,
power.
they just getting power back.
And
Come
water.
on.
So we talking about giving $20 billion to build a wall, and they talking about it's impossible to give power to Puerto Rico. So we know that's not true, right? He went over there. He was throwing paper towels at my people like they cockroaches or something, and that was it. It was just warlord. You know what I mean? And we the voice of the people, of the voiceless. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop started with Grandmaster Flash and Melly Mel and all them guys making records like The Message. We got to talk for the kids that's really getting harassed by these police out there, and they can't scream loud enough. We got to talk about these issues. And Trump, man, this is must-see TV, man. You know, he did Africa, he did Haitians. Shout out to all the Haitians in Miami. I mean, it's so disrespectful. I don't know at what level. I don't know what's going on, man. It's a government shutdown on the first year anniversary. It was 50 million people in the middle of the streets protesting this guy. It's like, this is a terrible. This is the times we read about before we was alive. You know, the Martin Luther King days and all that. And it's weird because you got the jacket that got Colin Kaepernick there, but you damn right. Damn right. That's the new American hero.
How frustrating has the situation in Puerto Rico been for you, though?
Well, for me, I'm not gonna act like, you know what I mean. I live in Puerto Rico. I live in Miami, but it hurt me to see my people. I didn't know what to do. I'm sitting on the couch, you know what I'm saying. And what's crazy is my wife. She's a slight hater, so I'm always I'm telling you, I'm always giving things back to the schools. Things back to people. Like, I always try to do and give back charity to the people. And she be like, yo, B, you doing a little bit too much.
She want to know where it's going.
So, yeah, she want to know where it's going. So I'm sitting on the couch and we watching all this. And she said, yo, you better go all out for your people, boy. And I was like, she was like, nah, go hard.
Right.
And I was like, all right, that's all I need. Her to throw the battery in the back. And I was like, yo, let's get it done. Shout out to Desiree and Jay-Z over there at Rock Nation and Tidal. They helped us so much, man. Shout out to Governor and Ruben Diaz, the borough president. They helped us so much with trying to help Puerto Rico as much as we could. But at the end of the day, we the little guys, you know what I'm saying? But, thank God the whole city of New York came out. Black, white, Chinese, Hispanic, whoever you name, they came out and they donated, man. So it was a big thing, man. New Yorkers, we always come together, you know what I'm saying, in times of tragedy. That's a fact. 9/11, whatever tragedy. And I believe this relief effort we did for Puerto Rico really, really laid down a blueprint and let us know that we could take power. If we combine together, we could take power into our own hands and come through. Something, God forbid, happens to somewhere else that we connected to. You know what I'm saying? That we show up, we do the same thing. Let's go. Like what y'all did. Y'all got in my pocket.
Yeah.
Y'all got in my pocket. I remember
We
I was
appreciate that, too.
I was
Thank
in
you.
Vegas. I got a phone call. Joe, how much you donating? We send water and cans of food to Puerto Rico.
Put Dre on the list for next year.
Oh,
so we
yeah.
make sure we hit him up.
Man.
Oh, by the way, we are gearing up for this year, too,
Yeah,
by the way.
I'm
Yeah.
ready. You know what? And saying the F Trump thing, it's hip hop. Like, Pac was real good for that since it's a Pac record. And How Do You Want It, which was a club record, he went bad on Dolores Tucker. You know what I mean? So if you're going to make a statement, do it on a hit record.
Yep.
That way it's more impactful.
Shout out to Tiffany Haddish, man. That was an amazing
What up,
skit.
Tiff?
That was a
Tiffany Haddish was
diabolical.
good.
Now, Joe, how is it coming along executive producing Remy's album?
Well, her album
guys
is pretty
in the
much.
studio
I did
together.
the hits, man. You heard the Pretty Brown. That thing going #1. Ain't nothing we could
Melanin.
do about it. I know
Melanin
radio.
magic.
Y'all gotta understand when I make music, I make it as if I'm a program director of a radio station. I make music as I'm Thea. I'm sitting back like, I tell you, the ladies
salute to
want
Thea.
this here, the fellas. That's how I make my music. So when I go into executive producing Remy's, man, wait till you see that video, and then the brown women, they love this.
Yeah.
The brown man, y'all gotta stop. You know, I'm watching dudes like throwing their face. Like, I don't know if that's so cool. Like, you know what I mean? But the ladies, y'all can keep posting y'all videos, Melanin Magic. Dudes, like, man,
Come on, guys. You guys have melanin magic too.
Six-pack, Melanin Magic. Like, yo,
A scream
hate on
is
the
a scream,
six-pack.
Joe.
yeah, I know. We want the men fans, but you know, like, come on, man. Too much for my eyes, man.
Everybody with melanin magic. But I know that Remy has a very strong sense of what it is that she wants to do in the studio. So are you guys bumping heads?
Never.
Never?
You know what I'm saying? We once again, man, we get in there. Do you know how stressful a session is with Remy? Because I start sweating bullets, screaming. I'm like a coach. We going bad. We gonna because you know she too much in love. Black love, Pat Poole.
Black love.
He's there with roses on the side. Yo, my man, this nigga Uzi in, man. Get out of here, man.
No, she's on probation, parole. No,
I'm like, yeah, we joking, but I'm just saying, yo, man, we going bad. We war ready, man. So I gotta sweat bullets. I gotta go bad, and then she go in that booth and she kill him. She got some of the most amazing verses I ever heard, man or female, on that album.
Remy gets busy.
She got busy. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I mean, I'm proud of her, and we gonna see what it is.
I saw Pitchfork talking about Plateau Plumos, and they said it didn't do good in sales, but y'all independent.
Oh, we did great. We almost 200-something thousand.
Yeah.
Where everything we do is independent. What people got to understand, we go up against these major labels. They got 10,000 workers. Like we got 4 workers, 5 workers, and we still go top 5 every time. You know, our videos look better than these major label artists' videos. You know what I'm saying? We doing just fine, man. Hey, man, our blueprint. Shout out to Empire, man. Shout out to Rock Nation, y'all. We doing just fine, man.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Is it worth putting out albums?
I could tell when Joe got a record. When Joe got a record, everybody calls.
Yeah,
and then the last call that comes is Fat Joe. Every time. I know when Joe's ramping up. I start seeing the calls coming, and then I see Fat Joe. Heavy, I got one.
Nah,
Your
but I
team, your
got
members
one.
work hard.
Oh no, God bless them, man. Shout out to Mo Landry and everybody out there, man. These guys, they go hard for us. You know what I'm saying? That too. We go in there in the war ready too, because you know Mo was at Atlantic for many, many years. Our team was at different places. Now we choose to be independent, and now we just, you know, we fight the world. Man, it feels so much better fighting the world.
But you make
man.
the phone calls. You don't see that a lot of times with a lot of artists. They're too big for that, or
Let me
too
tell you something,
established.
Envy. I be on you like, yeah, One time we had so excited, we was in the middle of a club. I stopped the music, everything. They was in there doing, you know, Gucci Gang. I was like, hold up, Envy, listen to this. DJ looking at me like I'm crazy. I played this. We gotta work, man. Life. I was just saying that when I was walking in. Shout out Rick. That it's just a hustle, man. I meet billionaires and people who so rich, and I be thinking like, yo, when is it gonna get like, well, we ain't gotta work as hard. There's no such thing. The richest guys in the world wake up every day and they work hard. Like, you know, life is a hustle. So, you know, you guys, you know, y'all got the voice of not just. Shout out to the champion of the world from the UK.
Tim Westwood?
Nah, Joshua. Come on, get out of
Oh,
here.
Anthony Joshua.
Anthony Joshua, that's my man. He told me he listened to y'all every day. Wow. I was out in Dubai with him. And he was like, yo, man, I listen to the Breakfast Club every day. You know what I'm saying? So y'all
Salute to Anthony
worldwide,
Joshua.
y'all global. You know what I'm saying?
Susan Tim Westwood now too.
Even though I don't think he gonna
Tim
beat
Westwood,
Deontay,
what's
but-
up, baby?
I don't think he's gonna beat Deontay, but salute to Anthony Joshua.
Have you ever seen Anthony Joshua?
yeah.
No, in person.
Oh no, not in person. No.
Oh my God, that boy looked like Shaquille O'Neal with cut up 6-pack cock diesel.
Word.
Nah, but he eat people. Like what you gonna
Wilder's
see?
a beast though. It's gonna be a great fight.
It's gonna be a great fight.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great fight.
I'm going Joshua. I'm going Joshua Anthony. That's just my opinion.
I got Wilder. Is it worth putting out albums nowadays, or is the single game better?
Yeah, you know we put out the single game is way better, but we put out a body of work every time. You know this. I got a big Cocker Spaniel thing in my head where I think about the future. I think about 30 years from now. I think about 40 years from now when people come back and they look at a body of work. And right about now, if I go on this run that I'm about to go on right now, Fat Joe, one of the greatest of all time, hands down. You can't
that
even talk
talk.
about this,
Talk
man.
that
This
talk.
like, I mean, like in
But why you
contention.
don't think you won now?
Nah, I'm just saying, I'm about to be in contention
Talk that talk.
for a unanimous decision to knock out the ring, where the biggest hater sitting on a stoop in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, got no choice to be like, yo, let me tell you something, man.
But you know when people
This
talk
might
about
be that boy.
when people talk about the greatest of all time, it's other factors that go into it. Like they don't just mention Jay's lyrics. So I think it's the same for you. Like you look at all the people you put on.
That's real.
Yeah, we did everything from street basketball. You know, my record as a coach is 99-1 at the Rucker out there.
Who's the one
What's
lost?
the one game you lost?
We beat them the next year. Don't worry about them guys. We don't even know them. We don't see them guys. And they jerked us, if you ask me.
I would have loved to see. And this is going back. I'd have loved to see that game.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
You and
yeah.
Jay, I'd have loved to see
The
that
Rockefeller
game.
I'd love to
Oh,
see it
my
too.
goodness.
I mean, we were
That would've been
stacked up
amazing.
too. I mean, you know, OG Juan, shout out OG Juan. That boy wanna always threaten me and talk about that game. I'm like, yo, oh, we getting money now. Like, stop. Let's not talk about it. But we was stocked up. We you know, I had AI chilling in the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
I had Mike Bibby. This when they was in the Olympic. Man, I had so many guys waiting. So I had 2 tiers. So soon as the first quarter was gonna go through and it was almost done, we was gonna walk in that park with AI and all them. And we already had Marbury, whoever you name, Carmelo, Zach Randolph, whoever you name. Our starting 5 was all stars, but I had another 5 all-stars waiting down at the plaza on 57th Street that I was just going to be like, oh! Park was going to go crazy after the
But they
first
said
quarter.
Jay had LeBron.
Yeah, he did.
He did.
And Shaq. He said Shaq.
And Shaq. Shaq was really the problem. We know
Fat Joe told
we
Shaq,
know
if you
LeBron
stepped on
is
that court-
damn man. Yeah.
Fat Joe said, if you'd have stepped on that court, I'd have broke your legs. You wouldn't have ever played again.
Why you tell Shaq that?
That was Shaq, man. Like that was like almost a
But he said it to
guaranteed
his face. It was
win.
like he said, no. He said, if you'd have stepped on that court, I would have broke your leg.
When'd you
would've
say
played.
that? When'd you tell him that?
On radio.
I had to tell him that, man, because you know it was like Shaq. He hurt my feelings, man. Stay out of this, Shaq.
Stay
Can't
out
nobody
of this.
beat Shaq. That's not even
yeah.
fair,
It's not
man.
fair.
That's not fair.
That whole situation is interesting because everybody always talks about how you and Jay had beef, but y'all couldn't have that much beef if y'all was gonna play a game against each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. I mean, I think it was more of a. I don't even know, man. That's not even relevant, man. You know what I'm saying? We try to put a game out there for the people. Shout out Greg Maris, rest in peace, man. Everybody up there at the EBC, man, they do so much to keep the kids out the streets, man. And summertime, you know, people killing each other. They banging on wax,
Right.
banging on street in the cold at 0 degrees, man. The temperature in New York is bad. So when you got them out there in the summer where they really get killed, and you give them a place to come and be happy and enjoy themselves and watch some basketball, that's major.
Why don't you think New York-
I'm not a native New Yorker, so why didn't that game happen again? What happened?
Blackout. It was the
Lights
blackout.
went
out. Blackout.
Okay.
Blackout.
It's a movie about it. Go look up Blackout.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
crazy.
I remember that.
We
The
tried to-
luck
they-
of that.
They tried to get lights in front of 40-40. It was like, let's play in front of 40-40. So like they tried everything to get that game on, but it couldn't happen.
Nah, I feel like the white man did that. Lights wouldn't just automatically go out all
The
of
whole
a sudden.
city.
That's random as
The
hell.
whole
He said the
city
white
was.
man.
That's random
Trump
as hell.
wasn't around then, man.
Why don't you think New York is like that anymore? You know, growing up in New York, it was fun. It was a lot to do, whether it was Grant's Tomb or the Rucker, or it was so much going on.
Because they kill people. Because they kill people. That's your answer. So when you have when you have the ASAP Yams in memory party, and it's the biggest riot you ever seen in your life, if we turned around, people ask me all the time, why you don't go to the Bronx and do Fat Joe Day? Because they kill people. They'll be shooting little girls by the Pete Awa machine and all that.
Yo, that's-
Unfortunately, it's bad people who want to come out and do that type of thing. I never understood that, man, when we celebrate peace. I mean, I think it was Miami. I don't want to quote it like that. Shout out to Miami, but I remember it was Martin Luther King Day, and they did like something in a picnic, and they were shooting people out there. Like, come on, Martin Luther King Day?
Right.
You think it's a youth thing? Because I think about when y'all did the Chris Lighty performance, you and 50 pieced it up. Y'all wouldn't even think about
It
it.
is a youth thing, but
Yeah.
we were youth too, but we wasn't crazy enough. It's a different time, man. It's just a different time, and you just got to think things through. You know what I'm saying? If you're doing something celebrating somebody's death, you're doing something, you know, somebody Martin Luther King Day, bro, the most nonviolent American in the world. You know what I'm saying? They put dogs on Martin Luther King. They put him in jail 100 times. They wind up killing Martin Luther King. They're giving him a holiday. It's crazy, B. But this guy was always preaching nonviolence. and you go on a Martin Luther King Day and shoot some people. Come on, man.
Doesn't
Dre,
it
did you
feel
ever
good to
think-
see your music being so inspirational? Like I saw you posted in church. They're doing all the way up in church. That has
Yeah.
to feel good that you make songs that people look at as like anthems for being up.
Man, it's an honor, man. We make music for everybody. You gotta understand, music is the universal language. You know, we go to places we never thought we could go. Djibouti, Africa. You ever heard of Djibouti, Africa?
No.
Djibouti, Africa.
Okay, Djibouti, Africa.
Sounds intriguing.
That sounds like a
though.
place Diddy would say he's been on drink camps.
Damn, Daddy, you been in Djibouti, Africa?
Come up fast at that.
That's a fully. Nah, but I'm just saying, man. We you know, my music got me all across the world. I never believed I would be there, and it affects people in different ways, man. And that's all we do. We try to inspire. Our next single after this, "Pick It Up," which "Pick It Up" going #1. But our next single, boy, is gonna inspire the men like you've never inspired men before in your life.
So is this the Melanin Magic record for the guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is our Melanin
Okay,
Magic.
okay. Got
Oh
you,
no,
got you.
for a fact, man. I mean, y'all going. It's gonna be a serious one, guys.
You always sound great on old Dr. Dre production or Death Row production, should I say?
Well, we
Daz, whoever it
we got something we call modern nostalgia,
That's right.
where you know we took like "Don't Look Any Further" and we made it so excited, and now we got "Pick It Up." I mean, stay tuned. The temperature's changing to where we take some of the old, but we make it so hot that the youth vibe with it. You know what I'm saying? So we call that style of music modern nostalgia.
I always wondered, did Dre ever reach out when he heard you in Point back in the day when y'all body deep cover? Did he ever like, yo, let's do a real one?
I technically ain't never really meet Dr. Dre like that on a one-on-one basis, but I know every time he gets around people be telling me like, yo, he be like, yo, Fat Joe, boy, that boy, you know, he always bigs me up at meetings or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we got to connect. Now, I told Scott Storch, but you know, sometimes people don't like to connect you with the billionaires like that. But they be like, yo, hold up, Joe. Let me see what they doing right now. Yeah, Joe, you know what I mean? That's the plug. Dr. Dre the plug, man. No question. Dr. Dre, you know, he changed your life in a second.
They never reached out to you, Dre? Like, look, you can only be one producer, Dre.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I put a record out a couple years ago, Chevy Riding High with my dog, Rick Ross, and I put Dre, and we had to get clearance for it. We had to get, you know what I mean? I couldn't just use Dre. And
That was your first feature?
That was like, yeah, the single I put out.
Wow.
So, you know, he gave me his blessings. And, you know, this was right after we did Hate It or Love It. You know, that's the game. That's his artist. And he mixed it. So he was like, nah, you know, I fuck with your music. I really like what you're doing. So you good. So, you know, we got
Angela, let me ask you a question, Angela. Are you fronting with them green drinks? Because every time I come up here, it's only a little bit drink off the drink. I never see you finish the green
I gotta
drink.
take it with my vitamins.
I never see it finished. like,
This Fat Joe in podcast mode right now.
Nah, I'm not.
That's a good question.
Coca Vision.
No, but in this one today is grapefruit, kale, ginger, and green apple.
Oh my
Let's
God.
talk about this podcast now. Coca Vision.
Yeah.
Why'd you decide to do a podcast?
You know we built the whole tunnel, the Chapo Tunnel.
I seen it.
The tunnel going from
Where is
from
it?
Texas to it's in Manhattan. Now it was in Queens last week.
Oh, okay.
Travels.
To travel. Okay.
They'll be traveling to Atlanta soon. You know, I mean, you know, I just was like, yo, you know what? Everybody always told me to do a podcast, and I was just in Rock Nation, and Dez was like, yo, man, you know your personality, man. You need to do one. I was like, yeah, but you know it takes a lot of time. But I actually had a great time. I interviewed Swiss. You know, people talking to me about stuff they would never talk about. So, you know, we talking about Swiss. We talking about Swiss, his wife. You know, Swiss is crazy, B. Like, I don't know if y'all got Instagram like me, but this guy's really roller
all got
skating with his
Instagram.
Yes, all
mom.
of Instagram.
He's roller skating with his moms in the house.
Yes.
Past
In the house.
$5 million art.
Yeah.
I know Swiss from the South Bronx when he used to stick up bodegas. It blows my mind to see these things.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sitting there, good times. Him and his mom. I'm like, yo, this is incredible.
And he's a great dude. Like a
Oh, he's a
genuinely
phenomenal,
great person.
Really
phenomenal dude. I interviewed the Locks. I interviewed Casanova. I love that record. It's my favorite record on the streets.
Mine too.
right now.
My favorite record too.
That's so New York, you
Punch
know.
you in the face, motherfucker.
Now I knock your teeth out.
I meant to tell him that you and 50 Cent on the remix of that record, that's a New York's dream. But I
with
need
it.
that Joey Crack cut you in the face, punch you in the
He's got
gotta
enough.
go
He's
back.
got enough recollection that he can still write. It's been enough of that.
Nah,
in his
that
life.
would be real hard, man. You know what I'm saying? But Casanova, I just love him as a person. I watched him. You know what I'm saying? He reminds me of me. You know, when I first came out, you know what I'm saying? I be with my wife every day. You know, I'm trying to stay out of trouble because I come from where I come from in the streets. So when I said I'm going into the rap game, you know, I said, yo, I'm going to stay out of the trouble as much as I can. So I same thing. I see him with his little wifey. He be everywhere. And then whatever incident they had, you know, I actually take it as a blessing in disguise because he was making that dance party music, you know, trying to stay out of paroles.
Right.
But then he just turned into his natural self and said, step to me, I'll knock your teeth out.
Sure.
And everywhere I go, everybody like, yo, that's that Jordan. I'm like, yo, it's a blessing in disguise.
Do you give him advice? Because there was a point where
I give him a lot of advice.
because you said that people would just run up on you just to get hit because they know that they'd get a payday.
All the time, man. It's amazing, man. After the 15th lawsuit, I realized, yo, this is a gimmick. You know who never realized it? Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson was knocking cats out. In the news today, Mike Tyson knocked somebody out at the Hilton. Nobody never told him, yo, it's a gimmick. Nobody think they tougher than you. Dudes used to come up to me and be like, your mother's a lesbian and your father's I'm like, bro, we both bought equal. What's the problem? No, my uncle, okay, dance on him.
Yeah.
Next day, I be in cuffs, going to Central booking. You know,
Dre, was the problem the violence ever a problem for you when you was with Terror Squad? Did you ever be like, this is too much?
Nah, never a problem. I mean, there's been incidents, you know what I'm saying, when back in the day, I can remember being in Miami.
Why are you smiling, Joe? Just thinking about the blood that it was.
Because these guys
I
are
always
nice guys.
tell-
Dre is my guardian angel, bro. People don't understand how much I love Dre, man. When I'm at my darkest times, he's the one friend that'll sneak in through the back door and talk me out of something and be like, yo, Joe, please. He's like the Obama of the crew.
Gotcha.
Loves everybody. Yo, he said, yo, Joe, please, man. Come on, he know that the word is out. It's a go. You know what I'm saying? Think of this. Why don't you, Dre's you know what I mean? So it's been so many, not saying that, there's not times I've seen him get upset, but he's like, yo, Joe, man, he's the voice of reason for Fat Joe.
Do you remember times you had to talk to them?
I was at the Ritz-Carlton in Miami. I went to go have a meeting with the big homie, and it was a bunch of guys we had a problem with being in Terror Squad. We had a problem with that was staying at the same hotel, and somebody put me up on game like, yo, Dre, the people in there, man, don't go. I was like, big homie wants to see me. You crazy? I'm going up in there. So on the way out, I had my chain on and everything. And one of my guys was like, you should take your chain off. And I was like, nah, I ain't gonna tuck my chain. That's I can't do that. So on the way out, they seen me and it was like, yo, F Terror Squad. And about 30, 40 guys ran my way. And I had that thing on me. So I just pulled it out, but I'm a good guy. So they
But I'm a good guy.
They realized it because my hand was shaking so wild that everybody was like they knew. And then God bless the dead, Chris Lighty seen me. No. And he grabbed, this is my guy, Dre, this is my guy. And he walked me out. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? It was a couple times. But I always tell people, man, even though, I didn't grow up in the nicest neighborhood, but the music game really introduced me to the streets. For real.
Why you
Like,
just
I
didn't
tell
hit
people
Joe
all
and
the
be like,
time.
look, I heard the ops at the hotel and I'm about to pull up?
Nah, we at home in Miami. We can't let nobody front on us.
Well, that's
At the
fortunate
crib.
that you didn't end up having to shoot that gun because anything could have happened.
Nah, for real. But
What kind
we
of
gotta
world?
protect ourselves.
Think about that. He just called him the Obama of the crew. The least non-violent member of the Terror Squad is pulling out pistols
He
on
gotta protect
hosts.
himself.
Yeah,
Like,
you gotta protect yourself.
At this point, you got to protect yourself.
Yeah, absolutely,
But, as a
absolutely.
man, at the end of the day.
You'd have got away with that one if you'd have shot one. They coming at you 30 days.
Oh,
Stand your ground, baby.
You'd have got away with that
100%.
one.
We in
Stand your
Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Florida.
That's
You gotta
Florida.
trip that one.
Yeah.
Guns in Florida. You trip over them. They everywhere. So yeah, there's been times, but God bless. We here.
Let me tell you something. You in Miami and a skinny dude about 60 pounds flat start talking crazy to you, keep walking away.
You got that thing on.
He got the biggest gun that weigh 80 pounds.
You got that thing
Yeah, they
on.
got that thing,
Yeah, Dre, it's good to see you talking because you always been low key. Like you've had, like, I remember you was dating Christina Milian at one point, right?
Oh, that
God
was
bless
so
you,
long
God
ago.
That was a
bless
long
you.
time ago.
Throw that at
But that
you.
was the biggest thing. I mean,
We call
other
that
than the
banter.
production,
That's like banter.
was that too much for you? Like, that too high profile for you?
Nah, I mean, you know, I mean, in life you live and you learn. You know what I'm saying? I've never been one for all the lights and all that stuff that come with it, but you live and you learn. We got love for everybody.
You got love for
We got
Right.
love for everybody.
That was a tough one for you, I remember.
We got love for
What
every.
are
He's
you
like, we
talking
not going
about?
down this
What are
road.
you talking
No, because I
about?
remember like.
Wait, how long ago was this,
I don't remember-
guys?
I don't remember how long ago, but I just remember. I don't know where I was working at the time, but I remember that's his girl. So when somebody talks about his girl in a disrespectful way, now it's not just Christina's problems; it's now Dre's problems. So I just remember Dre
I mean,
having
while
a
it
re-
was going on.
yeah, Dre having to react. I can't remember where I was.
Clearly, it was Miss Jones.
Was it Miss
It
Jones?
had to be.
Nah,
don't know.
I think it was a man. It wasn't he wouldn't have came at Miss Jones.
Oh.
Nah,
But it was somebody,
I can't
but-
remember. I mean, you know, give thanks, man.
Give
we got
thanks.
love
We
for
moved
everybody.
on so
nah,
much.
we ain't mad, but you know, of course, that was a different experience for me. I moved low key, and Joe will tell you that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And after that situation, I really moved low, like 100%.
Good lesson learned nice and
Nah,
early for
I
you.
mean,
I don't
you
want to
know,
be
it
in the
is-
spotlight like that.
Yeah, I mean, but guess what? You know, it comes with the game, so you gotta know how to deal with it. So the way I dealt with it, you know, you could look at it as a positive, negative. I'm here in the Breakfast Club. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
absolutely.
So we putting out hits nonstop.
When'd you start making money as a producer? Because you know you hear all these stories about new producers not getting paid.
I'll be honest with you. Before I met Joe, no disrespect to Joe, you know what I'm saying? We was in Miami hustling. I was making records for Juvenile right when he left Cash Money.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Making records with JT
They
Money.
made that
making records.
rodeo.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I was at 19, 20, I was living in the condo on the water, pushing the Escalade. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's just different. You know, back then though, you could really get paid for your music. It's different
Yeah.
now for these producers. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want it for free. You know what I mean? But that's how me and Cool started. We gave out beats for free until somebody asked us, yo, how much you charging?
And then
So
you
that's
be
part
like,
of the
"Hey."
game. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's like anything else in life. You know what I mean? You gotta give it out, let them test it, and then they come back asking how much it is. So,
right.
you know, we've been doing it for a while, man. We still here. You know, my pops put me on the Fat Joe. I was a little kid. And then,
Nigga,
you
how
know,
old are you now? You still look like you in your 20s. How old are you?
my man always tells me I'm an alien for that, but I can remember being a kid and my pops put me on to Joe Crack, and that was 93, right? 92, 93. So, you know, 20-something years later, you was talking about, you know, top 10 or greatest rappers of all time. You know, I feel like we need to talk about that. You know what I'm saying? Because 26 years later, after putting out your first hit, I can remember the groups in 92, bro. You know, Fushnikin, Zahn, we can remember
we
a
love
lot.
all
And we got
yeah.
love for everybody.
Yeah.
But at the same time, to be here 26 years later and still putting out hit records, impactful music, you know, that's a feat. And then at the same time, you know, we respect Dr. Dre, we respect Puff Daddy, Jay-Z, because they open the doors for other icons, whether it's Jay-Z with a Kanye West, whether it's Puff Daddy with Jodeci, Mary J. Blige, Biggie Smalls, Dr. Dre with an Eminem, Snoop Dogg. You know, these are what separate those guys from other people because they open the door for another icon to come through.
Joe
And
gave
Joe
us
did
Pun.
that, the big pun.
Khaled.
Khaled, Cool and Dre. So, okay, so you still making impactful music 26 years later. You put on some icons, Remy Ma.
Yep.
You know, we need to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I love making music with them because I know what it is. Even though people don't really give them I tell them all the time, man, you got to claim that, man. We can't wait for people to tell you that. You know what I'm saying? That's something my brother Khaled always says. Yo, if we wait for them to celebrate us, brother, it's over. You know what I'm saying? So
That's a fact.
this album, Family Ties, I feel is going to be something that really validates
Something special,
Joe's
man.
career. You know what I'm saying? And
Something
of course,
special, man.
gonna put me in a space to really, you know, bring that heat.
Yeah, we already
New
got
day.
Dre's. We already got Dre's
It's a
solo
new
cooking.
day.
All right.
New
You
day.
know what I mean? The music is crazy, B. Pick it up. Be out everywhere in another day. And check it out, man. It's crazy.
When's it coming? When's the album drop?
Well, the album don't drop till maybe like spring.
Okay.
We gonna let Pick It Up do what it do. You know what I'm saying? And
Hopefully your wife starts talking to you again soon.
it's hard out here, man. It's hard. I'm telling you, it's hard out here, man. You know what I mean? But you know, it is what it is, man. I love making a certain kind of music. There's nothing I could do about it, you know? I gave my life to music, man. That's why I've been here so long, you know?
Now you got and the acting thing going.
Hear that? Please save my life some more. Spike Lee. Spike Lee, thank you for saving my life.
I always found it interesting how you made Tiffany the straight woman in that sketch. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean?
We did the Kanye West when he blacked out on George Bush.
Yeah.
So I was just like, yo, we doing a strip club, Joy. It'd be crazy if we just go out of nowhere and just go into that scene right there. So Tiffany, man, you know, I'm just a fan of her whole movement and what she doing and her energy, man. I love her. And, you know, she's there, man. She keeps it real, 100. I said, I got this thing for you. She was like, yeah, Joe, I'll do it. I was like, you serious? She was like, 100%. We got in there. We did it. You know what I mean? And the humor is that, the funny thing is that it ain't funny.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the funniest part of it.
Or
Yo, this ain't even funny, man. This is real life. What's going on out here, man? You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is.
But we thank y'all for joining us.
Nah, I appreciate it.
Fat Joe, Dre. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.